with Alexandre Ribeiro. Alexander,
Hi.
how are you feeling in Poland?
Feel great, like always. Great place to be. You know, second time that I'm here in Czechia, and just feeling great. First time was, as always, the first impression, but now it's my second time, and I definitely feel like home.
Great. How many times you visit Europe?
First time I visited Europe was like 2000. I was a brown belt. I didn't get to come to Eastern Europe, but I didn't get to visit Poland, Germany, and places like that. I was more like England, France, Sweden, but I think it's my fourth time in Europe, I believe. Yeah.
What do you think about Belgium in Poland?
I've been seeing Eduardo Rocha's work here for a long time, and he always tells me about the Koch family, and I came here for the first time last time, and I just think everything's in the right track. I've been seeing a lot of Polish fighters going to the worlds and getting great results, but independent of competition result, I just think that the lifestyle and the teachings of Jiu-Jitsu, I think, helps people in general, and I appreciate to hear the Rocha Jiu-Jitsu team is a very family-based place, and everybody trains hard. Everybody trains and teach each other, and I think that's the lifestyle that Jiu-Jitsu brings to any community in the world.
Okay, we congratulate you with last year's fight with Metamoris with Dean Liston. It was really a good fight, and what has happened with this armlock?
Dean, he's a very tough fighter. I knew that going for his neck, he's really good defending his neck, so I had a strategy to go for his arms. And, he was willing to let his arm break, and maybe I wasn't ready to break someone's arm.
Okay.
But I went for it, I cranked it, he didn't tap. And for a second I realized that I would have to break his arm. And by the second that I guessed that I had to break his arm, he was able to defend well. And it just so happened, it happens in a fight, same thing that Roger, he got caught in an arm lock, he was willing to not tap, and some fighters are just like that. And I just think it was a great fight. I was ready for Dean, and I had a competition a week before that, and but for me, I don't care. I like to say that my jiu-jitsu is without limits, and I'll fight anywhere, anytime, anywhere.
That's great. What do you think, Alexander, about BJJ in Olympic Games?
I think that's a faraway dream, unfortunately, because unfortunately Jiu-Jitsu is not really a unified rule system. If you go, there's Grace Jiu-Jitsu, there's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, there's American Jiu-Jitsu now. So I think it's just too many variants of the same thing, and I think to be an Olympic sport, you not just needed to have a certain amount of countries, but you have to have unified rules. And I think that's what taking a while for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with the gi to be able to go to Olympic Games. It's just sad, but that's how I see it. Even the Olympic Games in Brazil, we expected they put at least like grappling, because I think when they put grappling, you can have way more countries participating, because you can bring guys from Greco-Roman, Judo, and make a unified rule, and that was my hope. But see, there's still faith in there. Maybe one day, when I stop competing and I start to do more politics into Jiu-Jitsu, I can start a big campaign. I think that's my ultimate goal after I quit competing, is to be able to unify Jiu-Jitsu into a rule system that is good for everybody, and that everybody can follow it, and and hopefully we can make it happen for the Olympics.
That's great. How it started your adventure in Jiu-Jitsu?
How did I start?
Yes.
I did the judo when I was really young, as part of physical education in Brazil. Brazil is a big country with judo too, especially on the schools. And that's pretty much how I started, like wearing a kimono and stuff like that. But I started probably about maybe 6 months after my brother on my home state, Manaus, in the state of Amazon. Actually, I was funny because even before I started to really, learn jiu-jitsu, the kids used to grapple in the grass. Yeah, that was funny because I had I did judo, so I knew like mount, like immobilizations and a few headlocks and stuff. Nothing really like jiu-jitsu oriented, but we used to just like mess around, and sometimes we argue with each other. We settle on the grass, and then I don't know. One day my brother just invited me to go, and he felt that I needed to get stronger and stronger, and then I went to the academy, and I haven't stopped since.
That's great. That's great. What do you think, Sander, about training jiu-jitsu in G for MMA?
I think it's great to train jiu-jitsu for jiu-jitsu itself. I think when you just do for no-gi, for example, you're already breaking the art. You already kind of cut the corner, and there's no cutting corner in jiu-jitsu. It's proven that when you wear the gi, you acquire more understanding for just grappling itself. And you can see all the results, all the Abu Dhabis, ADCCs, and all those tournaments, all the jiu-jitsu guys with the gi win. And but of course, if you're going to do MMA, you have to be more specific. And of course, you have to train no-gi also. A lot of wrestling too, a lot of no-gi, because it's more specific. So there's details that you have to change from the gi without the gi. I always train with the gi. Doesn't matter if I'm like for the world's no-gi. I was training with the gi the day before. So it's because I've been in this for so many years. I think it's important because the art is with the gi, and jiu-jitsu is used with the gi. And if you just do no gi, you're not doing jiu-jitsu, you're doing grappling. That's how I see it. Even though no gi is a big part of jiu-jitsu, it's just a part of it. It's not the art itself. So I think if you don't learn with the gi, you're cutting a great experience in a great way to understand grappling itself.
Yeah. Sander, what do you think when two competitors sit on the floor in jiu-jitsu fight?
I think it's silly. I just think it's a shame that people give up a lot of aspects of jiu-jitsu. If the guy sits on the ground, you go there and pass his guard. That's how I see it. Now we see things in jiu-jitsu like double guard pull. What is this? Double guard pull? You know what I mean? It's like it's for me, it doesn't make any sense. For me, it doesn't make any sense. I think, for example, using 50-50 is great. It's not something that I do. I just think that is a weapon for the least technical guy to hold a guy. And I just think that when someone comes in a match with a strategy like that, I just think it's silly. I just think it's a waste of time. It's just, like I said, it's called competition. It's not called jiu-jitsu. And unfortunately, sometimes when I say things like that, people get mad at me because it's because you don't do 50-50 and stuff like that. I say I do it. I just decide not to, because I think there's way better ways to accomplish a goal in competition. And I have probably I'm fighting my third generation. I'm fighting guys that they were blue belts, and I was a black belt world champion. And I always fought the same way, and I never had to use anything like that. I don't know, it's just me. I'm addicted to finish people and dominate people. I'm not addicted to hold on to somebody and win by advantage.
Okay. You have occasion to fight with Rodolfo Vieira. What do you think about this guy? His accomplishments speak for itself. He's a guy that dominates everybody that he fights, and I just think he's a great fighter, great person, and he's a good friend outside of the mat also. And for me, like I said, for me coming from not competing for a while and then coming back to competition and fight the #1 guy in the world and be able to give him a tough match, almost able to pass his guard and then be able to sweep him and stuff like that. I think that's for me that's a great asset, And I know that I still have a lot to do in my sport, and
you know, just actually we fighting again in January. The tournament called Copa Pódio is a Grand Prix, and I'm in his group, so we're gonna fight for sure at least once at the tournament, and then if we make to the finals, we're gonna fight again. You know, in a period of like an hour. So you know, I just think not just him, but anybody. You know, I just appreciate all my opponents. They show like mad respect for me, and I show mad respect for them. And I think it's just as many Rodolfos, as many Xandes coming into the game, it's better because I believe we play a really good game. We like to take people down, we like to pass guard, we like to dominate, and I think that's what people want to see.
Okay. You have some few fights on MMA. When we see you again on MMA ring?
Hopefully, you know. For me, mixed martial arts would be something more of a personal goal. Like I said, I'm driven to challenges, and I did 2 fights, and they showed that didn't really pay off, and they bankrupt. But I think it was a great experience. But my love is jiu-jitsu, and I think that I have a lot to improve in jiu-jitsu, not just as a person, but as a teacher, as a mentor, as an example to generations to come. And I think if right now I think about the money and going to MMA, I think I'm going to cut a bridge that is not going to be too helpful, you know, for me. But I have goals to fight, and for sure to fight in the UFC. I don't see myself doing anything else, but if I don't have to fight there, I'd rather not fight. You know, because I think you know, my reputation speaks for itself, and I don't need to go and make more fights. And once I step in the ring or the octagon, it's not going to be about the money. You know, it's going to be about proving that a good jiu-jitsu person can evolve and be great, not just as a grappler, but as striking and mixed martial arts as well.
Okay. Alexandre, you prefer fight in G or no G?
Well, you know, it's an easy question. For sure, I'd rather fight with the gi. But you know, I think I've done enough in both areas to, you know, it's just, in fact, I don't really prefer anything. I just think jiu-jitsu is more fun because more things can happen. It's harder to stall in a sense, you know. Once you get sweaty, nothing really happens, becomes just a very physical fight. It's just different. I think it's a different feeling. You know, it's just same thing you ask if I already snowboard or surf. You know, I think the hype is just different. But of course, I love my mother art, which is jiu-jitsu, and I prefer jiu-jitsu. But I don't know, I like both in a sense. You know, maybe I love jiu-jitsu and I have a passion for it.
Okay. You have like aggressive style, attacking style from taking from top. Is this way going Ribeiro Jiu-Jitsu school?
No, Ribeiro Jiu-Jitsu is something even greater than that. Of course, my brother is very known by his top game, judo top game. You know, my top game is really good, but I like a lot to play guard. You know, especially after a while, with injuries and stuff, I kind of stopped taking people down just because I didn't get injury in my neck and stuff like that. Ribeiro Jiu-Jitsu is something greater. It's a mix between my style and my brother's style. And his style, you know, I'm aggressive, but I have a more peaceful pace. You know, my game is forward, but if you pay attention in my energy, my brother's energy, he's more of a grinder. You know, he'll walk just right into your face and he'll take you down. He'll smash you. You know, my game is a little more like water oriented. You know, I keep going forward, but I like to play. You know, I'm a little more playful than my brother. You know, my brother takes competition in a very serious manner, and I keep it serious, of course, but I like to play and charge myself into the competition. You know, some people, when they go to compete, they don't allow themselves to any type of, okay, I'm not going to take a chance. You know, the difference, I think, between me and my brother, that I take a little more risks than he does. You know, and I like to say that we are opposite sides of the same coin. You know, so, and that's how I can say about Ribeiro Jiu-Jitsu. It's pretty much his idea, my idea, and everything. It's the same value. The value is the same. It's just a little different style, and I believe that you know, we help not just to competition. We helped a lot of people through jiu-jitsu to accomplish their goals in life, to be successful teachers, to be successful fighters, or just training partners. We have all kinds of people that train under us. We have businessmen like my brother, have the Brooklyn Jiu-Jitsu University that even business authorities that use it as an example for seminars. You know, they do business seminars. They talk about his strategy in competition, how he sees jiu-jitsu, and I think this is good.
What is in your club or in your school? How is preparation? More like competitors people or like hobby guys?
We have a good mixed. You know, of course, when you talk about competition, I like to talk about representation. I think competition is not the competition itself. It's about put yourself in a place that you're not comfortable. You know, pretty much all my students, they compete, but not all of them are really competitors. You know, I always encourage them because I think competition is a way for you to test yourself in an environment that you need to sometimes not be yourself. You have to wake up, you have to make sure you're in a good day, you have to train properly, you have to achieve a goal, because a lot of people, they're driven by goals, you know, and that's why I like to keep them very mellow. My club is very mellow, you know, they train hard because they like to train hard, but you know, if you're executive and you don't want to really train hard, we have programs for that. You can just go and go in your pace. The sparring part, I encourage them to spar, I encourage them to go compete, but it's not something that I go say, hey, you have to, you know, because I like to make them feel very comfortable. And I like them to test themselves into a non-comfort zone, because I think that's when jiu-jitsu comes into place. You know, I think jiu-jitsu comes into place when your comfort stops.
On what part of training is most important for you? Your training or technique, or like strongest part?
It's always about technique. You know, I'm a technician. That's what I believe in. You know, I believe in Alexandre Jiu-Jitsu 110%. You know, it just depends, but be more specific, of course, not be so theoretical about it. It just depends on what phase are you before a competition. You know, if you're in off season, for sure, you're gonna work maybe more conditioning. You're gonna get stronger. Because you can't get stronger, get technical, get faster in the same period of time. So you have to put it into a period, you know, and you don't want to expect 3 weeks before a tournament try to get stronger. That's just silly, you know. So you know, I think there's phases for everything, and I've been through a lot of phases. You know, right now my conditioning, for example, is more to keep my body healthy, to not get beat up, or just to keep the tonus, or protecting my joints and everything, you know. And I train a lot, you know. I do one thing good, that thing is jiu-jitsu, and I will not, if I'm feeling tired in training, I rest and then I train harder the next day. While a lot of people, they get tired training, so what they do, they go to conditioning, and then they go to jiu-jitsu all tired, you know. And I just don't understand how this goes. But I'm pure jiu-jitsu. Everything you see here is built by jiu-jitsu. And you know, I don't really like to lift weights much. You know, I'm a more functional guy than a guy that would be in the gym pushing a weight. You know, I rather go to the academy and push it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how I feel about it. Just make sure you understand the period of everything happens.
Okay. What is your preferred technique?
The one that works. You know, the one that makes the job done. Doesn't care. You know, but yeah, I like Ellie Gray's choke. I like to choke people. I like to put it in the collars and just keep it simple. It's the first choke you learn. It's the one that I use a lot, and I have a little OCD about it. I'm a little compulsive about it. You know? I do a little bit of spider guard, and it's like my hand just drives to the collar again. You know? So it's just how I like it. You know, I like to prove a point. I like to prove that the old man was right about everything he did, and I'm here to just keep his legacy.
in your training, if you give some of your students like philosophy of jiu-jitsu, you give him this, or?
Yes, we talk a lot, because my students, they really, even though sometimes I'm younger than most of my students, they really look up to me, not just as a big fighter, a big champion, but as someone that has a lot of experience and having seen the world, So I try to make them see the world through my eyes. And, we talk about life, we talk about jiu-jitsu. It's, like I said, that's the great thing about the jiu-jitsu lifestyle, because you just don't go to the gym and the dojo and go and train and go home. You create a big bond. And I think that's the most important thing about jiu-jitsu, is the brotherhood, is the family, it's that family bond that you get when you join the jiu-jitsu academy. And we talk about everything. We talk about life. Sometimes they have the problems with their wives, and sometimes it's about everything. Like I said, it's just a big family. Some days we're in good mood, some days we're in bad mood, and I think it's about to understand each other.
Okay. What countries you got your schools?
Well, we have the Ribeiro Jiu-Jitsu. The Ribeiro Jiu-Jitsu system is in a lot of countries right now. I have my own lineage, and Sal has his own lineage, but we both teach Ribeiro Jiu-Jitsu. We're probably around maybe 20 countries right now. Just the top of the head, Ireland, France, Romania, Philippines, Japan, China, Brazil, Canada.
All over the world.
Yeah, we have plenty of people, and we have plans to go to Hong Kong, and we have plans to go to Egypt, India. So, like I said, as much as I stop competing, my goal is more spread the jiu-jitsu throughout the world, and just as I invite, if you wanted to learn and willing to do a good program in wherever you are, just contact us. Next year I'm planning to go to India. It's a country there's no jiu-jitsu, and I'm actually paying to go there. I'm gonna fly out there and start a program, because, like I said, for me, in my life now, it's my duty to spread the word around the world. Even if what it takes for me to do that is to go to pay my own pocket, I will.
To finish, can you say hello to our fans on Grip News?
Thank you guys for watching us today. It's a great pleasure always to come here to Europe and teach you guys and have fun and get a smile, and hopefully see you guys next year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.